I just have a few things to fucking say because this stuff is really starting to piss me off. It's pissing me off more than it would a normal person because in 3 months I will have my degree in psychology, right? So I know what I'm fucking talking about when I say this shit. This isn't just me pulling shit out of my ass. I just understand how this shit works. So that's why I feel compelled to say something. So, I'm gonna get comments, oh, you didn't put any fucking visuals or any editing skills on zero, whatever the fuck.
I was made for this.
Sure, I don't care. This is just me talking about some shit really quick, really fast, just so you fucking know, right? So I'm seeing tweets like this. I hope there's a fucking example on the screen, right? So yeah, I'm just gonna put a few examples of the weird, sickening tweets I'm fucking seeing on the internet. The relationship between Ymir and King Fritz in no way portrays any kind of fucking love ever in the history of ever. This is not love, and this is not fucking Stockholm Syndrome, okay? So I know what the fuck I'm talking about, right? Because I've had to study it. Stockholm Syndrome, to be a sufferer of Stockholm Syndrome, is to form a bond with your captor. An amicable bond with your captor, where you kind of see them as pretty much a friend. And it can be mistaken for love because of the bond you form with the fucking captor. Oh, he's feeding me. Oh, he's so nice to me. When I'm cold, he gives me a blanket. When I'm crying, he comes and comforts me. We're both struggling together. We're avoiding the police together. Blah, 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 blah. I have a bond with him, and you can even think it's love. That's how good and strong the bond is. Even if you were the R word, right? Like if you guys have some sort of intercourse and whatnot, he's treating you well. The captor is treating you well. And you form an amicable bond with him. Despite the fact that you're kidnapped, this person is acting like a friend to you. And as a survival tactic, your brain holds on to that bond. And that is not what we see in the series. Ymir did not have Stockholm Syndrome. She did not. It is impossible. Fritz did not show her any grace or mercy or anything. Oh, he gifted her his seed, that they had intercourse, and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, that's a bond right there. That's a bond right there. He treated her like dirt, okay? And if this was supposed to be picked up as Stockholm Syndrome, it would have been depicted that way. He wouldn't have been so terrible to her. Once she got her powers, he would have been like, oh, I'm sorry, I was so fucking hard on you at first. Whatever, come serve me. Yeah, I'll treat you. And then he treats her better from then on. And then she serves him. Okay, just literally give us anything to say that this is Stockholm Syndrome. In situations like this, the person who's being held captive has to be able to relax around their captor, right? And they're usually not physically harmed. The whole point of Stockholm Syndrome is your brain tricks you into thinking that you're friends with your captor because of how well they are treating you. It's not, I'm being treated so bad, so horribly by this person who kidnapped me. Maybe I enjoy it. That's not Stockholm Syndrome. That's something fucking else. That's some sadistic ass, weird ass masochistic shit right there. That is not Stockholm Syndrome, right? And it's portrayed more as this masochistic, whatever the fuck it is, if she were to actually love Fritz, which I guess she did, right? I guess. Pick up a freaking book, look up an article. Google is free in most senses, right? I hate this fucking narrative going around. Oh, it just makes total sense that she loved him. Her self-worth was so low that she loved him. No. Her self-worth was so low and she had nowhere else to go. So what else is she gonna do other than serve him? That is a more fair assumption of what happened here. Based on human psychology, that is the most logical conclusion to draw from the scenes that we were shown. This was not a case of Stockholm Syndrome. This was not love, in any fucking sense. It just makes literally no sense. It makes no sense unless she's a fucking masochist. Unless she liked having her tongue cut out. She likes being treated like a fucking work mule. If she enjoys this, what's happening, which she clearly doesn't, right? She clearly does not enjoy what she went through. That's why she chose to die, right? That's why she looks like this when Eren says, hey, you're free, bro. Do you, bro. We can put an end to this. Why does she want to put an end to this? If she had it so good with Fritz, if her love was so true or whatever the fuck. Oh, no one said it was good love. This isn't love. That's not what he portrayed here. If he was intending for this to be love, he should have portrayed love. Can she not speak? I don't understand why it's a choice for her not to speak. No thoughts, no anything, right? And in the anime, it was supposed to have Ymir only content, right? We were promised that, so we can only wait and see, right? But what the fuck? I don't understand how people are drawing from the episode they saw, right? I didn't even need the episode. The manga was enough for me to see that this is in no way, shape, or form a depiction of love. In no way. You know, because even for it to, you know, people are comparing this shit to like domestic violence and current relationships or from the 20s and whatnot. It's not the same. It's not the fucking same. This is someone who was kidnapped from their homeland, family killed, burned alive, taken hostage, made a slave, hunted in the woods, fearing for her life, right? And then she gets this power. She has nowhere else to go, so she just serves them. Oh, as a reward? I'll R-word you. As a reward. What else is she has nowhere to fucking go. Her people are destroyed, so she's just like, okay, well, what am I gonna do? Fuck it. This is the first Titan here. This is the first fucking Titan. Probably scared, you know, she's 12 or something. What else is she gonna do? So she's a slave in every sense. She has no sense of worth, nothing, right? But that doesn't mean she loved him because of that. He stripped her of her identity, of her voice, of everything she had. This isn't domestic violence. This isn't a depiction of a couple. This is not that at all. And it's just sickening to fucking hear so much dialogue about how this is comparable to relationships that start off with a bond, with a legit bond, that turn awry for one reason or the other. This is a kidnap hostage situation where no bond is formed, no amicable bond. He doesn't show any care whatsoever for her well-being, doesn't care to talk to her, doesn't care to speak to her. It's not Stockholm Syndrome. It's not. And it's not love. This is an abuser-abusee situation. This is a hostage situation. This is nothing that I mentioned before. It wasn't depicted that way. It wasn't. Now, like I said, if he had, you know, after she got her powers, if he was like, wow, you're so special to me now, like, you know, he could have manipulated her, like, this is perfect, like, you're awesome, you're amazing, look at all this stuff you can do, I love you, you know, then maybe we could talk about, okay, yeah, she thought this was love, if we had something like that, but this guy says no such thing, ever. Get up, slave, keep working. He literally treats her like a mule, and you're sitting up here telling adults, like grown, college-educated adults, that we don't understand what, like, relationships or whatever. If anybody thinks this is a fucking depiction of a relationship, like any kind of real fucking relationship, I'm so scared for you, honestly. I am so afraid. This is not a depiction of bad love. Okay, this is not what's going on here. I just want people to realize that. That's literally all I came on here to say. It's not bad love. It's not Stockholm Syndrome. It's an abuser-abusee situation. It is a guy chipping away methodically at somebody's sense of self and sense of purpose and life, ultimately. And he never shows her any sort of grace or mercy. So therefore, there's just no fucking chance for her to mistake this shit as love. There is no fucking chance from a psychological standpoint for her to mistake any of these events as love. There is no psychological fucking basis for her to cling on to anything that happened to her and feel an emotion such as love. It was not depicted. Now we can get into headcanon space, right? We could say, while he was doing her, he was probably saying, I love you, and okay, thank fucking God we didn't see that, right? But, you know, like, if I have the imagination that if we did see quote-unquote sex scene, because it was the R word, it was not sex, it would have been just as brutal as the rest of this shit. Thank fucking God we didn't see one of those.
You went full retard, man. Never go full retard.
I would be even more sick to my stomach. You can't watch that episode and with a clear head think Stockholm Syndrome or think love. And if that was supposed to be what was depicted, then through Mappa's animation, Isayama should have had them change some shit up, if that's what we were supposed to get from it. Because he's a grown man. I'm pretty sure he has some inkling of human psychology, and that's not how it works. Even people who don't know much about psychology knows this isn't how this shit works. But anyways, that's where I want to end today. Thank you so much for watching, or listening, I guess.